Let me fix that problem, Jackie.
We're live.
Live.
You're live.
Uh,
I'm back.
Where? Oh my goodness. Good to see everybody. Welcome to our Success Mastermind for Tuesday, 28 July. My goodness,
Hello,
July's
John.
almost over. Wow, how did that happen? Yeah, here we are. I'm seeing a bunch of my friends joining us live here today. Let's see who's here. Oh, we got Esther and of course Jackie Gendry. Good to see you, Jackie. Michaela, Sandra. There's Allison. Jane, where's Neil? Where's your?
He's still
where's,
working, but he's on his way.
Okay, very good.
He's just coming.
Rusnita's here. Rusnita's having her lunch. Thank you, Rusnita. Isn't that terrible? I've had situations where I'm in a banquet, right? So we have like an event, and now here's the black tie dinner or the gala, whatever, and people are coming around with cameras, and at the exact moment that you've got a fork full of food going into your mouth, they want a picture. Like at that exact moment. All right, good to see Joe and Tom. Hey, Jatan, glad you're here. Wayne, of course, Coral. Welcome, everyone. We got so many people joining us live here today. And of course, if you're joining us on the interwebs, on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever else we may publish this, and if you'd like to be kind of on the inside of this, in the inside room, we are still setting up logistics and how we're going to run, membership and what have you. For right now, it's pretty much a free-for-all. So if you recognize anyone who you just saw on screen, you can get an invitation from them. Okay, and they'd be happy to give you access to this. So again, we're still putting the pieces together, and of course, anyone's welcome to join us on the replays and on the live streams. That being said, I got an interesting topic which has nothing to do with what Gail was talking about as far as the DMV, which is always a thrill, right? Going and dealing with. In fact, anyone ever seen? It's a children's movie called Zootopia. Zootopia. Yeah. So well done. Very interesting movie. And the whole city is run by, animals, different kinds of animals. And there's all kinds of, stuff that goes on in politics and everything else. But the DMV was all like every employee of the DMV was a sloth. That's the kind of animal, a sloth. And they move really slow. It's kind of comical. At one point, they tell a joke. One of the sloths, the fox tells a joke to the sloth. And it takes the sloth like 30 seconds to start to laugh. That's how slow the laugh is coming up. And then he wants to tell the joke to his other sloth friend. And the other person, there's the rabbit, not person, but the rabbit. And they're like, move, 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 move. Anyway, speed. I guess maybe that's the topic for today. Actually, you know what? I want to acknowledge, many of you. I've gotten, as I think you guys know, a flood of communication from every channel known to man, email, Skype, text, Facebook, you name it. Hopefully I've gotten back to everyone. And if I haven't, let me acknowledge you right now. It's just been complete overwhelm. But I've noticed that there's a recurring theme with some people who've been in this conversation for some time. And that recurring theme is, I'm doing better because I feel better. Or we could say, when my emotional state is up by whatever means, whatever's happening here, I'm now producing more. So I'm feeling better about myself, and therefore my stats are going up. Is that real for any of you? I know it's real for a lot of you, but think for yourself now, right? This isn't something that we're just going to take and just use the theory or just look at the theory. We're actually going to use the theory, right? So have you noticed that in your own experience? I certainly have many times. Think about it like this. So you've got someone who's apathetic, right? So let's go right down, down the scale, right to the bottom. Why bother? There is no use, right? We heard from some people who've identified as having been depressed, right? And there's all the psychiatric labels and whatever. I'm not going to go there. Interestingly, the psychiatric textbook just keeps growing and growing and growing. And so do all the pharmaceuticals to treat all these new conditions that didn't exist 20 years ago. But let's just say that you're conscious of your own emotional state and it's less than enthusiastic. Certainly, we've all had down times, right? However, when people operate chronically in a position of either feeling depressed or apathetic or fearful, suppressed in some way, right? So that's something that could be an outside influence saying that you're less than, or somehow convincing you that you're less than, diminishing in some way your own worth uh, to the marketplace, to your family, to society, to yourself, right? How many people walk around with a low self-esteem because of influences that they just kind of showed up in that environment? You know, one of the big things that I've harped on again and again with people who I've worked with is this idea of, if you want to go fast, if you want to accelerate the whole process, if you want to accelerate your own evolution, really, immerse yourself in the environment of success, not just in theory, but where the success that you seek is a reality. An example I often use is if you wanted to learn a new language. So let's say that you wanted to learn Japanese. Okay, I don't speak Japanese. I know we've got a couple of friends on here who do. I'm not one of them, but let's say that you got the course, right? Here's the book of Japanese dictionary or something, and you studied it 15 minutes a day, and you picked up a word here and there. That's nice. You'll know Japanese in about a decade. Okay, or you could just move to Tokyo. Now what? You want to eat? You better learn how to say, you know, fish heads and rice, or, you know, whatever. learn the language like really quick, right? Total immersion. In fact, there are language courses like Rosetta Stone, I know is one of the brands. I think they're still around, where you set up the software in whatever your native language is, in my case, English. I know kids in other countries know 3 and 4 languages. I'm still working on one. But anyway, you load it up in English, let's say, and then you click the go button, and then that's it. No more English. Like there's no English anywhere. It is Italian, for example, right? You see the picture. It's a horse, right? You hear the word cavallo, cavallo, right? Now you're talking to the microphone, cavallo. Do it again. Do it 1,000 times, right? That's it. You see, you know, your correctness level, your pronunciation level. I still can't roll my R's, by the way. I got a lot of friends who speak Spanish. I mean, I'm in Arizona, right? So we got Mexico right there. And so I can't roll my R's. Still working on it. But what's the point of all that? The point is that the more you're immersed in an empowering environment, the better you tend to feel about yourself. Is that real for you? Right? So look around, right? What is the real value? Maybe not observable, like ostensibly I see, look, there's the value. Like I know we've got a lot of people here who are engaged in delivering value in a physical form, a product, some solution to the need of a customer via e-commerce, right? Fine, that's fine. But is there value that's unseen? Yes, there is. And this is the biggest part of it, my friends. And I think this is where a lot of people fall down when they discount or sidestep the emotional side, the personal development side of business, of entrepreneurship. Everyone here, as far as I know, is engaged in business, right? We've got some specific ends that we're looking to, cause statistics to rise, increase the demand for what we supply, right? We're all engaged in commerce of some sort, exchange, okay? Well, here's the thing. You can more readily deliver perceived value. Yes, intrinsic value as well, but perceived value. You can more readily deliver that when you're focused on raising the emotional state of the ideal target audience, customer, whatever it happens to be, client. Okay. So back to the original idea for you. Okay. So let's look at ourselves right now. The original idea is my stats are better when my emotional state is better. If I'm sitting around being depressed, apathetic, whatever, how productive am I? Well, just get that picture in your mind. How productive is that? Okay, now let's go right up the scale here. Man, I am on fire. I am 10 foot tall and bulletproof. Holy crap, watch out world, here I come. Do you not reach now? Are you less inhibited? Of course, right? Knowing that you do good work and it's ethical and right and high integrity action for you to reach into the marketplace, to impinge on the attention of others and say, hey, look, we got products and services. We got benefits for you. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this. And knowing that that's good and right because it feels right to you. And certainly look at the agreement where these people are thinking that's right too. Here's some money, right? And now your stats are going up. So when you feel good, you do you do good self-esteem kind of stuff to raise your own self-image, your own self-belief. That doesn't just stay at home. That has to go out into the marketplace, whether you know it or not. There are people who say, I'm just in the flow. You guys experience that? I know we talked about experiencing depression. Now let's talk about something else. Being in the flow. Think about times when you've been in the flow. You're just feeling good. It's like an easy flowing experience. It's not forced. It's powerful. It's not forced. Big difference. Okay. It's powerful. And does that not communicate to the ideal target audience? It does. Does it not attract people? I know a lot of people have talked about the law of attraction. Okay. And there's been lots of publications about that and movies and The Secret and everything else. It's not a secret. The secret is there's really no secret. But so we've got this thing pulling people and things toward us, right? We want things, right? The new car, right? There's a pull that can happen there based on your chronic, not temporary. Okay. And as you can ride the roller coaster a bit, we all do. Okay. But the typical chronic emotional state can pull things towards you or repel them, right? And being a push away from you. Here's the trick. You've got to be cool with you first. Now, some people have been in a downward spiral, whether it's through, I've been suppressed, I've been made less than, I've been sold a bill of goods that I'm not worthy, whatever, fill in the blank with whatever the story was or is around that. Okay, so that's the downward spiral. And then you reach less, your stats go down, you feel bad about yourself, down and down and down we go. You see that? The emotion, the action, the result. The emotion, the action, the result. Down we go. Or what has been purported to me by many of our friends here who we meet and we've been meeting is upward spiral. Yes, upward spiral. You know what? I am good and right and doing good work and I'm an on-purpose person. Purpose. You want to see a miserable person? Person with no purpose, with no problems to solve. That's why you see, what's the old saying? Money won't make you happy. Yeah, it was never designed to make you happy. I mean, given the choice, if you're going to be miserable, I'd rather be miserable with money than without. But, having been both, I would choose to have money. But the point is that, no, it's not going to make you happy, because we could see examples of people who perhaps were born into wealth, right? Trust fund baby or something, no purpose, no problems to solve, miserable. Oh my goodness. You could read about the scandals and the 10 million divorces and the kids are on drugs and right? I don't want that. No sale. But let's look now at an on-purpose person, like each and every one of you here. You wouldn't be in this conversation if you weren't. Are you reaching to fulfill that purpose? That's a high esteemed action. That's a high integrity action. I know for myself, I feel good. I feel happy when I'm solving problems, doing high integrity actions, causing value to occur in the marketplace. I feel better about myself. I'm glad others get value too, of course, right? But now there's that upward spiral. So if you found yourself in a position where, I don't know, not feeling good about myself or whatever, what's one high esteemable thing that you can do right now? If you want good self-esteem, do esteemable things. Okay. So what's one high integrity action that you can choose to do right now, like today? Perhaps you've been putting it off. Perhaps you should have been doing this all along. Perhaps you've practiced procrastination. Some of us are experts at that. I've been an expert at that in various areas of my life. Okay, well, let's just get that done. Done. My favorite four-letter word. Ego, you know what I'm talking about. Done, right? So now what? Look what I just did. That's a done. That's a win. That's a high integrity action. And now I feel better about myself. Let me reach further. And now you're gaining traction in the marketplace. There's the upward spiral. Okay. But again, like I said, it doesn't just stay at home. Yes, I'm glad for you. You feel good and you're getting good work done. But guess what happens? Guess what happens when you help raise the emotional state of others? Think about this. You want to draw money, currency, right? You want to inflow, riches and what have you. Well, you're going to have to outflow value. Okay. And here's why this works so beautifully. Because when let's say you've just given someone a win, right? They got the product that you're offering and they not only, appreciate the features and whatever, but they emotionally experience the benefits, right? Their problem just got solved. That's kind of cool, right? You just help them raise their emotional state, right? I got to be careful how I say this because you don't have direct control of someone's emotional state, right? We all get to have personal responsibility for our thoughts, which lead to our emotional state. But you induced an opportunity for that person to feel better about themselves, and they exchanged money with you. Think about this on a micro scale. This happens in little micro transactions all day, every day. Okay. And to the degree that you can raise people's emotional state, this is a heavy duty topic, guys. We could talk about this for a week. All right. But to the degree that you can assist people in perhaps recapturing some whether it's comfort, ease, status, luxury, self-fulfillment, self-esteem, gratitude, enthusiasm, something, right? What is sales but the transfer of enthusiasm, right? You're helping someone go from perhaps just kind of blah, bored, whatever, to, a more enthusiastic state about themselves, their life, whatever problems they're looking to solve, the purposes that they're looking to reach. Guess what? That's going to bring, again, people closer to you. And this doesn't have to be on some grand scale. Think for a moment about rap music. Okay, so here are what's the demographic we could say, and I may be going back, some decades now. I remember Run DMC, right? Back it was the 80s, I suppose, and and it's evolved, of course, since then. But I remember a lot of children, like inner city children, who perhaps were living in a more chronic state of like fear, right? Especially with things going on in that society. Now here's, let's say, even if it's like a gangster rap kind of thing, which isn't terribly resourceful from my viewpoint, okay. But here's someone who's perhaps in fear now experiencing anger, right? So, and you guys know that the kind of protesty kind of content that could come out of that and other music genres as well. I'm just trying to offer an example that hopefully you can relate. But if someone's in fear and now they're at least ready to stand up and fight or something, well, that's actually better than just sitting there in fear, right? Again, we're not talking about a terribly resourceful thing, but it is an increase. You see that? If someone's bored and they can be, lifted up, edified to the point where they're at least feeling, some degree of conservative enthusiasm. Well, okay, that's an increase, right? So it's always about the upward spiral. We can see this in our own lives, and I'm going to open this up. I want to hear from you guys, right? How does this occur in your own life? Or is there something that you could do or that you have done that has caused you to say, oh my goodness, yes, I am going someplace, that upward spiral. And can you also perhaps come up with an example of something you can do to cause that for others, right? So my product that I'm putting out into this marketplace, right? People are enthusiastic about that sort of thing. I mean, one of the main things that anyone who's in marketing should be focused on is the broad appeal to the ideal target audience, of course, but the broad appeal that induces emotion. It's not just, rational. In some cases, it's irrational. An example that I've often used is Harley Davidson, right? I go into the Harley Davidson place. I'm in some foreign city or something, and I pay $30 to $40 for a t-shirt, right? Harley Davidson of, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, right? Here's my 10 million dirham or whatever I paid for it, right? Is that rational? No, I'm wearing a better shirt than that right now, right? Cost less. So yeah, think about that. What can you do to increase not only your own emotional state and thereby, increase your statistics, and what can you do to assist other people in doing that as well? I'm going to stop talking right now because we have got a bunch of people who are raising their hands. By the way, the way this works, if you're new here to this forum, there's a little clicky button. You click the thing, you look on the participants list, and you raise your hand, and then we go in turn here, and we're going to share the time. And first, we're going to have Joe Olson Clark. How you doing, Joe? What's going on, my friend? Where's Joe? Joe.
Am I
Joe.
unmuted?
There she is on the
Super.
beach
Hi,
as
everyone.
usual. Look at you, beach bum Joe.
Yeah, in a very cool England.
Right.
Yeah. I just wanted to say hello and glad to see you this week. I wasn't on our Amazon call on Friday, and I was doing nanny duties over the weekend, so I really didn't get to see anything until Sunday, and I thought, oh my goodness. But by then I was just reading the first bits, and then I was reading that the meeting was set up again, and that struck me as really interesting, because when I first read that the meeting was gone, I thought to myself, well, is that such a bad thing? It's change. Was I using it as a crutch? And then I kind of thought about it and thought, no, you know what? It's lovely to be on the meeting with everybody. You're all walking the same path, although at different speeds, and helping each other along when you have a hiccup. And I also thought, being in this group, and again today you're echoing that, the actual like phenomena of contagion is here, where everybody is kind of geeing everybody else up to get better stats, get further along their pathway. And I'm just really appreciative, and thank everybody who sorted it all out, and lovely to see you, John. So that's all I've got to say, except you do realize you now have stalkers, John. Your success has brought you stalkers.
Oh, well, you know what? If it's people like you, Joe, you're always welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And somebody's got to be able to stalk somebody with this whole COVID thing going on. How do you be a stalker in this environment? I don't know. It's kind of tough. Yeah. Stalkers unite. Oh, Joe, thank you so much. Let's go to Wayne. Hey, Wayne, what are you doing, brother?
Hey, Don, good. How are you doing?
Good.
Good, good. Hey, I really like that thought of the transfer of enthusiasm. And last week, the conversation was a bit about inertia, and inertia as it relates to sort of being still, stagnation, or no movement, or procrastination, or however you want to look at that. So, I mean, the transfer of enthusiasm to me is taking inertia and applying it in the sense of momentum. And certainly I know from this call, the momentum that's here, that transfer of enthusiasm that transfers between the different members of this group, they're like fuel, and they help, it helps provide that little bit of energy that's required to keep the momentum up. I know certainly things I've tried on my own in the past, you kind of go for a while, but there's not that kind of that encouragement, that fuel that's there to help along. And sometimes it's easy just to get slowed down and stop. But I think for me, joining, here every day, it really helps with keeping me fueled up and keeping me on the way, keeping that inertia in a positive motion sort of sense.
Thank you, Wayne. And that's certainly the intent, right? I mean, we all have an intangible benefit that we get from conversations like this, and I can't do it alone. All right. Wow. So thank you, Wayne. And of course, anyone who doesn't know Wayne, he's got a lot of knowledge about aeronautics and how, well, it's the same principles that we could see in the physical world, right? We can look objectively and say,
Absolutely.
oh, that's how that works, So,
absolutely. Yeah, you can certainly do that.
There's Wayne. Good guy to get to know, everybody. Thank you, brother. So we got Carlene, then Ego, then Caroline. Hey, Carlene, what's going on?
Hey, John. Hey, everyone. Can you guys hear me clearly?
We can, loud and clear, 5x5. That's Carlene, everybody.
Yeah, great. So yesterday on the call, I want to just say thank you to Stuart and Sharon and everyone who made it possible for us to connect again, because I would not have even known how to go about doing this. Like, these guys, I said yesterday, they're like GI Joes. I swear they're SWAT or special forces or something. Because the way the US team leapt into action, it was unreal. It was one of those things where it was like a commando mission, and they put their heads together and they figured it out over the weekend. So it was just one of those things that I've never seen before in my entire life. And I've actually worked in law enforcement. So that was some type of 0-30 stuff. Like, you guys are incredible. So thank you for that. And John, thank you for even allowing us to even come back into a room with you and have these meetings again. So I didn't want to go on the call and say anything yesterday because I would have been bawling my eyes out. So I'm like, I'm not gonna ugly cry on Zoom. So when it comes to what Wayne touched on and Joe, I just wanted to add a bit to that, because I had an experience today I wanted to share with you. So I'm at home and my doorbell rings. So I'm thinking, I'm not expecting any delivery. Who could this be? So I go to the intercom and I'm like, hello, who is this? And they go, it's the police. So I'm thinking, the police, is this a prank? Someone's probably pranking me. So she's like, yeah, do you own this gray car? And she identified my car, the make and model. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm getting a bit worried now. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is like 1 o'clock UK time. It's broad daylight. So she's like, can you come down, please? So I go down and I'm thinking, oh my God, not today, because I don't need this. So I go down and the cops are downstairs and she's like, yeah, so someone just basically, there's been a theft. So I'm thinking, I'm looking around, but I can see my car. I'm thinking, okay, what did they do? Did they bust out the back glass? Did they do something? So she says, come over. And then the guy, so it's 2 officers, a male and a female. The male officer, he then gets down on the ground. He crawls underneath my car. And then he goes, yep, it's gone. And I'm like, what's gone? And he's like, yeah, so someone just saw someone pull up in a car, crawl underneath your car and cut out your converter. And they stole the catalytic converter. This is the first time I've even known about this part in your car. So this is all new to me. They're telling me about it because I don't even know what this part is. And there's like, yeah, it's a part with like rare minerals and like they need it for platinum or something. I'm like, I've been driving around with a car that had platinum in it. I should have sold it myself. I didn't even know it was worth that much. So they beat me to it. They stole this stuff from underneath my car. And they did it in broad daylight. Someone saw them, took down the reg number, gave it to the police. And I'm stood there. And let me tell you, I was calm about it. And I could only credit that to this group because the transfer of enthusiasm, the transfer of just positivity in a situation where you're actually being a victim of theft. I'm not even angry. I'm listening to them talking about it. And I'm thinking in my head, maybe the universe is working its way towards giving me a new car. And that's the way it's going to happen. Because I just haven't, it happened a couple hours ago. So that was like after 1. And I didn't get angry. I felt like okay, it's a car. Someone stole the stuff. It's basically it's going to cost a lot to replace it because it's very expensive. But it's so contagious, this group. The way you guys have continued to help me with my personal development, I'm now able to not react the way I would have reacted before to something like that. News like this would have made me go apeshit. And now I hear the news, the same news, John, that would have made me 2 months ago lose the plot and completely like go wild. I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? Okay, we're going to give you a crime reference number. Okay, fine. The person who gave the report, I said, thank you very much. It was a lovely lady and her boyfriend. And shout out to them because they didn't need to do that, but they saw it happening. They called the police immediately and they were able to get descriptions and everything. Nothing's going to come out of it because the police said to me, they do this like 40 cars a day. The Irish guys, they do that. They tend to like drive around, roll under your car a minute, they cut it out, they go and they will hit like 40 cars in a day. So I'm just one of those people. It's unfortunate, it happens, but the reaction to it, I can only credit to you and this group because I guarantee you my hot-headed temper would have been a complete meltdown. But now sky's the limit. I don't even let those things faze me anymore. And it's all because of you guys. John, thank you. Everyone in this group. This is the result of what happens when you immerse yourself with people who are on the same path. This is it. And I've seen, and here's the thing, many of us are going to experience a lot of things throughout life. A lot of us are going to have deaths. We're going to lose loved ones. We're going to have tragedy. We've seen it happen already. We've seen it with many members in this group going through their own struggles and their own trials and their tribulations. But just the way we're handling it is like the 80-20 rule. So if we continue, I guess we can all become better human beings despite all the chaos, because we live in a world full of chaos. People are going to do things to us. People are going to hurt us, but we don't have to let it destroy us. That's all I can say. And I can thank you guys for being that contagious energy. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlene. I've never heard of people stealing catalytic converters. I mean, there's a bit of labor involved in that. I suppose you could use a reciprocating saw. Otherwise,
no,
it would
it's 1
be...
minute. It's 1 minute. It's
really
easy. Boom. They're in, they're out. It's done. It takes less than 2 minutes. They come out of their car, roll underneath your car, because my car is a CRV. So it's high. So they don't need to jack it up, which makes it a target, because now you can just go under it and come out without someone even noticing you're there. You're gone before they notice.
Wow. Does your insurance cover that?
Yeah, yeah, because apparently it's a big thing here in the UK. I'm like, okay, it's the black market, it's expensive, so they do cover it. It's just like, I said to him, would I have known that they stole it? Because I would have been none the wiser. He's like, no, you would have known. You start your car, you would have heard the vroom, because it sounds like a boy racer car now. So
Right.
you would know that
yeah.
it's gone.
Oh, you're going to hear it. That's for sure. I just looked up on search, catalytic converter, Honda CRV, $129 US. So
over here, it's going to cost over $1,000 to replace.
What?
Because they have to replace the whole system, because they cut the sensors. So it's not just the converter.
I am so sorry you had that experience. Yeah, there's like a little bit of platinum in there, which is the catalyst to turn the exhaust gases more into like oxygen and nitrogen and stuff. So it's a catalytic converter, literally. How do I know that? Because I used to be a mechanic. But yeah, $100 part here in the United States. People are stealing it. Unbelievable. Thank you. It's so good to see you, Carlene. You are so awesome. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. By the way, there are a few people I'm seeing on YouTube. If you're seeing this on YouTube, who are saying that the feed is choppy. I don't know. We're just running straight to YouTube and Facebook. So hopefully that cleans up. I'm not sure what to say about that. And if you're one of the usual suspects that hangs around with us, be sure to get the password and everything to get into the actual Zoom room. Okay, so that's through anyone you've just seen here. They can give you that password. All right, let's go to Ego. What's going on there, Ego?
Hey, hi, John. Hi, everyone. Everyone's echoed my thoughts and feelings and gratitude to everyone in the group and to you. So I would say the last 2+ months have been simply amazing and transformational. Yes, like Colin said, we've all been through and will go through life's challenges, but showing up here just makes the world for me a better place. Even, you learn every day. I mean, I never knew about this catalytic converter. I'd never heard about it. I didn't know what it was. So anyway, it's great to be here. I want to just kind of touch on something you said about the upward spiral. So, when Carlene said, with this group, the sky is the limit. And this is one of the first times in my life where I've actually believed that the sky is truly the limit when you're working with and meeting with and immersing yourself with such amazing people. You have no other choice but to spiral upwards. I mean, you've said it several times, many times, make a spectacle of yourself. And that stuck with me so much. So the way I see, or I would define an upward spiral, is where you, despite opposition and limitation, you keep spiraling upwards regardless. And, like sometimes labels are placed on you by virtue of upbringing, health condition, social status, whatever it is, we have those labels placed on us, and sometimes they become a limitation. But when you choose to surround yourself with the right crowd, immerse yourself with success, with successful people, you have no option but to go upwards. The way I would say I've done that in the past, or as my life really, is to be a positive influence everywhere I go. If I want to be remembered for something, I want to be remembered for how I've made someone feel. It's not about what I give them. I know that, I like to give. I would say I'm a giver, but I want people to feel, I want them to have a nice, positive feeling when they've been around me. So, and then, like before I invest in my energy in someone, because I also mentor, I go into it believing that there's a hidden potential, right? So it's there. So I would say having that ability to activate that positivity in another person is value for me. And then as an entrepreneur, or, you know, like budding entrepreneur, my goal and my why, and, you know, I know we're not talking about the before, but the reason why I actually started that, or anything that I endeavor to do, is to create value. It has to be beneficial. Whatever I do, it has to be beneficial to others first, and then the rewards. You know, I'm a firm believer of givers never lacking. So, you know, you can't help but you know, increase. And one specific example happened yesterday. So my sister-in-law lives abroad, and she's been stuck in England since the coronavirus. And my husband said to me, oh, you know, his sister has been, so she's been here for about 4 or 5 months. And, you know, British Airways keeps, you know, like changing her flights, and she's fed up and she wants to go home. And he said, you know, she has a date, there's a charter flight, and it's going to cost X thousand dollars. And I said, if I'm gone tomorrow, the money's there, right? In the bank, doing nothing. I'd rather impact someone's life and let them have what they want now, you know, rather than hold on to the money and and ah about it. So I said to him, I'll pay for it. He says, are you sure? I'm like, yes. And it's that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule as well. I didn't think, oh my God, if I paid for that charter flight, you know, what happens when I need to do X? I didn't even think about it. So it's really about activating that positivity or that positive experience in someone else's life.
Did we just lose sound?
Did you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah.
you were done. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm done.
I was just helping some people who were looking for the private link to get in. Ego,
Okay.
as always, the insights. Everybody, do you hear what she just said? So truly, that corroborates the idea that this is much more than just, let's say you're engaging in business, you're selling a physical product, whatever. Okay, but Ego, you've read The Science of Getting Rich, right? Right. So Wallace D. Wattles talks about the impression of increase. That's what Ego just described, right? And according to Wattles, even if it's a child buying a stick of candy at your store, he leaves that store with the impression of increase. Okay. And then what happens? Oh, I like going to Ego's store. She's got the nice candy. Hey, friends, come with me. Right. And here's more nickels or shekels or whatever it is. But it's authentic. Right. And I think that's one of the things that certainly we hear, I think, from everyone in this group, not just Ego and Carlene, right? Wayne and Joe, is you know, there's no part of this where you don't show up like the real you. Right. Like I don't put on and Ego, again, just having gotten to know you for the last couple of months. Right. We don't put on like, all right, here's the act, here's the facade. Right. Oh, we're so empowered. Look at me. And now I'm going to go. Now I'm done with that. Now let me go be the same miserable, whatever. You know, it's not like everywhere you go, there you are. Right. So that's how it actually is. That's beautiful. Thank you, my friend. We got Caroline and we got Susan in SoCal. So Caroline, why don't you come on out here?
Yeah. Hey. Okay. So I was going to talk yesterday, but I think we ran out of time. So I just thought I'd save a few words till today. So it's not exactly on point. It's just.
No, please. And I'm sorry I had to cut it off yesterday. I had another meeting.
No, it's fine.
Room open, which we'll do again. That's fine.
There's less chance I'll cry today, you see, a bit like what Carlene was saying. So yeah, I've been in the group for probably nearly 2 months, but I can be a bit nervous around groups. I can hold back. I can not be the one that's in there getting to know everyone. And so when it all ended on Friday, I was not part of anyone's email group. So I had absolutely no idea that it was all brewing to restart yesterday. And I just felt really empty on Friday and just thought, oh, okay. And I just kind of accepted it. But I felt like in a way I kind of let myself down, that maybe I hadn't given more into the group and received more. Do you know what I mean? That I turned up, but I hadn't maybe participated fully. I hadn't immersed myself fully. So when I saw that yesterday, because I was on this class and Julian posted his phone number, thank you, Julian, and got involved. I thought it was just a call with some other members. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. They're calling it John's Daily Success Call again. And when I saw your face, I was truly, truly shocked. And my first feeling was, great, I've got a second chance. I got a second chance of being part of this group and being as full and as authentic a part of this group as I'm able to be. Because I know some people find it easy to express themselves authentically, and I can just be self-conscious sometimes. So yeah, I'm really glad for the opportunity to be here again. And I hope I do get to know a lot of you a lot more. So that's, yeah. And then just one thing about the immersion thing. Yeah, I think this is an amazing space for immersing in this language of success, this language of growth. And whilst I'm still going, you know, slow and steady with my Amazon journey in my personal life, I feel the immersion has had a great effect as far as how disciplined I've never been disciplined. I mean, like, really, I've been very spontaneous and very short term, and now I'm suddenly thinking in a whole different way. And the way I talk to, I mean, when I speak to my mum, she's just like, she thinks it's brilliant when I'm telling her everything I'm doing, and she's just like, I really admire you, and I really wish you every success. Like, she's proper behind me, and my son as well. So he's 21. So I'm trusting that my newfound confidence and direction, my enthusiasm will have an effect on my son just by observing my journey. So that's all I've got to say.
Thank you, my friend. It's so good to see you as well.
And
always good to see you. Beautiful stuff. And look, there's validation, right? Who doesn't like to be validated, right? Your mom and your son. So you are on the path. Well done, my friend. Let's go to we're going to Southern California. So Susan and then Phyllis, both in Southern California. What's going on there, Susan? Let's get you unmuted. Where's my friend Susan in SoCal?
Sorry, I was muted. Hey, John, you know, I didn't say anything yesterday, but look at you. I mean, look at the love for you in this room. I mean, it is amazing, the love and the emotion that was shared yesterday for you. And I didn't speak up yesterday because it was going so long, but I appreciate you so much. And this group of people is just absolutely magical. I mean, this community of individuals that are from all over the world, from different walks of life, that care so much about each other and wanting to help each other. I mean, we don't find this every day. I'm flabbergasted with this group of people and with you. And I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate you so much, John. I can't imagine a morning without you. Tell your wife that. we just can't imagine not having you as a part of our daily life. And I can't imagine not having all of you to wake up to every morning. So I appreciate so much what you've done. I've been on this call since, I guess, the beginning of April, and I get something out of your calls every day. I've got quite a notebook going of notes, and I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you. So anyway, I just want to make sure I conveyed that to you before we got on any further. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank everybody.
So glad you're here. Your camera's not working, but your microphone is, and it just, thank you for sharing your thoughts. And of course, yeah. And I've been between not just Susan, but with many people. I've been kind of inundated, as I said before, with all kinds of very, I would say, empowering, but also gratifying feedback. It's good to know what effect these conversations have. And while you know, Susan, I haven't been like, I'm nobody's guru, right? Except my own, hopefully my own, right? I want nothing but absolute outrageous success for you and for everyone, regardless of what business you're pursuing. We got people on here. I see my friend Glenn. My goodness, you guys don't know Glenn yet. He's a fun guy. Habiba, you met yesterday, and we're gonna grow this community and have a beautiful mastermind. So
you know, all of this, it just shows, it's just proof of the power of connecting and the power of people, you know, what we can do together. So anyway, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. So glad you're here. Let's stay in Southern California, and let's go to Phyllis. Hey, Phyllis. And then we got Kitty. Hey, Phyllis.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to piggyback on what Ego was saying about helping and giving, and this is all part of spiraling upward. You know, we tend to have these labels that people have given us, or that we made ourselves feel based on things that happened in the past. And one of the books that we had read said, you know, that was who you were. That's not who you are today. That's not what makes you the unique person you are. So let go of that and move forward. And it equates to something I used to teach my kids is you can't move forward if you're looking in the rear mirror. So you've got to be able to just keep looking ahead. So in spiraling upward, starting yesterday with this group, with you, John, it was a great beginning to a very productive day. It was amazing. And in that theme, I have a neighbor who you've heard me talk about having wine with instead of being more productive at times. She is having foot surgery. And I said, and she's very depressed and very upset. Her family's visiting from Hawaii. It just goes on and on. But basically I said, hey, you know what? This is going to be a spa week for you. Come over to my house. I've got the bed that the legs lift up. The bathroom's right there. You only have to take one hop and you're in the bathroom. It's perfect for you. So what turned into a very bad situation of, it could be a bad experience and it's going to be painful and so forth, now has turned into, hey, we're going to have a girls' week. And so it was because of the beginning of the day, that upward spiral that led me to help her as well. And hopefully she now will have a good experience, even though she's having surgery, it's all going to be good. And it makes me feel more productive, and that momentum just keeps growing and going. So I'm looking forward to see what else it brings this week.
I guess we can call that paying it forward, right?
Yeah.
So you receive and you, yeah, that is beautiful. When my wife was diagnosed with cancer, as I think a lot of you know, last year, and she was preparing for chemotherapy, she invited some of her best girlfriends over, and they did a haircutting party, and make a game, so thank you for your service to your neighbor. That's good. A lot of times people just want to know that they're not alone. So there's that. We got Kitty next, and then I see Toyin's here. Hey, Toyin and Barbara. So let's go Kitty, and then Toya, and then Barbara. Kitty?
So I just, I can echo all the things that everybody's been feeling from Friday, but what I wanted to kind of share, because we do share our wins, and it is a connection with my cousin whom I haven't seen in a while. And she and I are actually, she's an artist, and she and I are actually going to be working on some products together. She's got some contacts that help move things forward, and I've been doing research in other ways. And so it's just kind of blossomed into this, like, woo, we're really getting stuff together, and it's very exciting. And so I just wanted to share that.
Awesome. Always good to see you, Kitty. And Kitty, I noticed you were on the YouTube feed, which was choppy or something. I don't know what's happening.
It was really bad. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
it was like every third word was gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully the recording comes out okay. Toyin, I didn't see your hand up, but I see you're unmuted, and I see you. What's going on, Toyin? And then we'll go to Barbara.
John, I just wanted to say thank you to you and to everyone in the group who have made it possible for us to be in the room at the moment. And I know I'm often not on the call, actually, because I'm usually working at this time, but I always watch the feeds when I come back at night, or I watch it at work afterwards. And so even though I'm, like I said, I'm not often on the call, but I'm very much part of what goes on in the room. And when I am on the call, to be honest, I tend to be quite quiet. So when groups are big, like Caroline, I don't know, Caroline was saying like she's been quiet, and I tend to be quiet. I find that I just think I'll just listen and not say anything when the groups are big. So I guess I have been quiet, but I just wanted to say that I am really grateful for everything that's happened since I joined, and all the things I learned. And when Ego was sharing about helping out her sister-in-law, I was thinking, that's the thing John always talks about, the impression of increase. Leave people with the impression of increase. And that's something that I always remember. And, whatever I'm doing, when I'm at work, even if it's someone who's asking me about the boss, or I always think, leave everyone with the impression of increase. And that's something I will never, ever forget. I will always hold on to it. And I know people that know me, friends, and my sister always says, oh, you're so generous, but I think, I don't know if I am or not, but when I remember always the impression of increase, I guess if I was generous, then it would make me a more generous person. But I am really, really, I want to say again, thank you to this group, to everybody, to all you share, because the reason I can't miss the feed at the end of the day is because I obviously come away with it feeling increased. So I get the impression of increase also from the group. So thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. So good to see you.
Thank
Yes.
you, John.
And yeah, I'm impressed with increase every time you talk. So please feel free to not be as quiet, right? Feel free to express yourself. You're beautiful. All right, we're gonna go to Barbara and then Esther. Oh my goodness. Hey, Barbara, what's going on?
Hi, everyone. Kind of taking off on what Carlene said about enthusiasm and things, and it's in two parts. So I live in Los Angeles, and I know we've all noticed things with COVID. Some people are very depressed or feel a heck of a lot of inertia and don't know what to do with themselves. And especially when we had the riots here, it kind of put LA way in the dumps. And it's kind of like people haven't really recovered from it, but I felt like this was my safe place. And it kind of it just would keep me away from it all. And I didn't have to worry about or like think about it as much because I wasn't going to get involved in all of that kind of stuff. But one of the things I noticed was that it made me really sad that so many people felt like so stuck and with such great inertia, they didn't feel any enthusiasm to go forward and try something different, even though I was telling them what I was doing and they'd be saying, oh my God, that's so great. That sounds amazing. But they didn't jump on and get into it. So I found myself gravitating away from those people and more towards this environment. So thank you, all of you. And especially John, thank you for coming back. That was very shocking.
Well, you're so welcome. And I'm so glad you're here. And you know, we've got, as I mentioned yesterday, this conversation's been going for about 20 years in various venues. And finally, we're doing it with no other venue than just, here's John, let's do it. So I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you. And thank you to all of our new members who were saying, John, when can we do like that black belt marketing thing you used to do back in the old days? Yeah, well, we're still doing it. So glad you guys are here. I think we're going to wrap up with Esther. Esther, how are you?
Hey, John. Welcome back. We are so happy to have you back. Anyways, Barbara, I'm glad that you are in your safe space, that you've been able to come here and just enjoy yourself with us. But I just wanted to say the YouTube that you've made yesterday was totally fine on my end. I watched the whole thing and it was not choppy. So maybe it was Kitty's internet or something.
Okay. Well, it was a couple of people, so it just could be the Google servers. I don't know, but yeah. Where's your daughter, by the way?
She is down at the Neighbors. She's hanging out there for the summer. Well, she's just down at the Neighbors, but they go back and forth. But yeah, she's not here at the moment.
Well, thank you for being here, Esther, and thank you all for. Was there anything else you wanted to share, Esther? You good?
No, that's good. I'm good. Thanks, John.
Well, then we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Here's what's happening, everyone. I am heading into the wilds today, like this afternoon, to work on some stuff that also stuff that I should have been working on for a while. I am inventing time to work on my stuff. So I'm going to be, anybody who knows Sedona, I'm going to be up there in the Red Rocks, right? Having a little time by the creek. Which is actually where I wrote my first book. I just said, that's it. I'm disappearing for a week. And a week later, there was integrity is everything. There it is. So we're going to do something like that. I am. But I will still be broadcasting. Okay. So same bat time tomorrow. Those of you insiders, if you know other insiders who are looking to get in the room, then you can share that. Again, while we're setting up logistics and, creating more order here. But right now it's kind of a free for all. So if you know somebody who deserves to be in this conversation, bring them in. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, my time, 5 o'clock over there in the UK, right? 2 o'clock in the morning for all you Aussies. You're bright and early.
Make sure you look down for snakes, John.
Yeah, I'll look out for those rattlesnakes. Thanks, Tom. You guys have a
Bye,
great day.
John.
Keep the room open. Keep the room open. Yeah.
See everybody.
Yes,
Yes.
keep the room
Yes.
open. You got it.
Bye.
All right, you
Okay.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you, John.
Bye,
Bye
John.
for now.
Bye.
Yeah.